Good morning, guys. Happy Sunday morning. It is Sunday, July 20th. Welcome back to the channel, Elizabeth Purpose and Beyond. Guys, I know I have been MIA, but if I tell you I have not been busy, busy, busy. So I shared with you all my trip to Japan and I even posted that video. Well, after I came back from Japan, I turned around and went to Alaska. I had some family to come up from Texas and visit, and we did the Alaskan cruise, had a wonderful time. And the day that I was taking them back to the airport, I also had to do a presentation at church because I have a praise report that I have been named as the executive director of Christian education at my church. And along with that, I have been busy, busy, busy working and trying to organize and pull that whole department together and setting up standards and expectations. So after I dropped my family off at the airport, I had to go to church that day and do a presentation. It went very well. And then now I'm working on a kickoff. So we're changing the standards around the way that we do Christian education. And so in my denomination that I was raised in, Christian education was basically just sit and get, nothing boring, the lessons or the instruction, nothing really to bring out the lesson to help the students learn the content, to make it interesting, to give backstory, and to help build the knowledge around the scriptures, right? So, doing Christian education at a higher level with a greater expectation of excellence. The teachers, yes, they would read, but the instruction was more teacher centered. So it was just about they just got up and talked. That was what was easiest for them. So we're wanting to shift to teaching and learning, evidence-based practices of teaching and learning, and having the students engaged, presenting instruction in a way that is motivating student learners, that is activating prior knowledge, that it's challenging what they know, and making sure that they're learning the content. So even some types of assessment, it's not going to be just, like you would do K-12, although in the future, that is the way to go. But that's the way we're going to be moving forward, and also requiring the teachers to do like an outline, because typically what's happened is that they'll just come and just rattle off a lot of scriptures. You have new converts, you have people that know nothing about the Bible. They didn't go to vacation Bible school and participate in the Bible drills, so they don't even know where to find these books of the Bible, let alone the scriptures. So we're reshifting all of that, transforming all of that. So lesson outlines are required with the topics and a brief summary of the main point from each of those topics accompanying the scripture. We're going to do lesson aims, which is talking about what are you expecting the student to get out of this particular Bible study. And so if we do a series, then the expectation is that your lesson content will be provided, 4 to 6 weeks ahead of that series, where it's posted on our church website, and the learners have opportunity to download that ahead of time and be preparing, building their prior knowledge, thinking about the questions that they have, and hoping that things are explained when we go through Bible study. So that's what I've been doing for that. And so the kickoff is going to be next month. So I'm preparing teacher tools. And for that department, it's not just the Sunday school, Bible study. It also includes children's church. It includes our achievement and awards section, or the folks that do the achievement awards for students, whether they're, children or adults. And then also Vacation Bible School, Sunshine Band, all of that is coming under Christian education. So I'm looking forward to the wonderful workshops that we're going to be doing at the church. I have to get the rooms together. So needless to say, I said all that to say, I have been very, very busy. Now, in addition to that, I've been around the house working, organizing things, and you're going to see all the things that I've been up to since the time of my Japan trip. And I'll catch you up so you'll see what I've been doing. And so I've been busy doing that. and things around the house and organizing and whatnot. So, guys, listen, I'm not going to hold you long. I want to say welcome back to the channel. I should welcome myself back to the channel, but welcome back to the channel. And if you haven't already, go ahead and click that like button. Thank you for doing that because that helps to push my videos out. And also subscribe to the channel. If you're new, you're watching for the first time, or you've been coming back and just watching the videos, but you haven't subscribed yet. Listen, I need that subscription. I need that subscription, and I want to thank you in advance for that. Listen, I'm getting ready to go to church. You see, I'm dressed in I have my little sweater in the mudroom, but I'm preparing to go to church, and I just wanted to stop in, do this video so I can make sure I get this posted. But you guys have a blessed Sunday and enjoy the video, the recap of what I have been doing since mid-May, since my hiatus. Okay, God bless you guys, and I will see you all again soon if the Lord says the same. Bye.
Oh my God. Good morning, guys. It's Saturday morning. Y'all, I had to add some dirt to my yard. I really needed some dirt. And so the lawn service guy, he said that he would spread the dirt. I ordered it. It came in yesterday, and I only bought like 4 yards, which was all I needed for my yard. And so last night it rained like I don't know what. I mean, it rained, which I'm so thankful for my plants. You see my rose bush, my hostas, my little pine shrubs. I have different variations of hostas out there. And then this other plant is some kind of lily, and they haven't started blooming yet, but I like it. Once it starts blooming, it will bloom all season. And then my other little white, I forget what that bush is called. It's a type of rhododendron. I have 2 white ones on either side of the rose bushes, and I see a lot of buds on my rose bushes, but it just hadn't started blooming yet. So hopefully after this good rain, that will prompt it to start to bud. But yeah, they sprayed it the dirt. It looks really good. I really needed it. Needed to build up my yard. I had some drainage issues, and mostly in the backyard. In the front, I have like this little drainage area. But yeah, they sprayed it the dirt. I got out there, y'all. I was helping them put the dirt in the wheelbarrows. I just was not in for the spreading, although I did go out there and try to do a little bit, but I was messing up more than I was helping. So I did a good bit of it, you know. And so yeah, they're in the back, finishing up the back. They don't have a lot. I mean, they know what they're doing. I was probably messing them up more than helping. So I said, let me just get out of the way. They've got it. And it's looking really nice. So I had to put out some more seeds. So I'm seeding at the same time. I put out stuff to kill the grubs. And so I mixed all of that up at the same time to kill those grubs, because they have eaten the grubs and the moles. So the moles are eating the grubs. And if I tell you, they have not had a field day. They've been having picnics and barbecues in the backyard on this one side. So I heavily put out that grub killer over there. I do have some mole killer or repellent, whatever it is. I'm going to put that out as well. Because yeah, they're just having a field day in my yard, and that's just something I didn't realize. You know, I really have to stay up on. You know, when you have people in the back of you, the area, you don't have to worry about this. So, you know, I have these wetlands in the back of my yard. So yeah, extra little animals and rodents and things tend to like to stay back there. Mostly these moles, and they like to eat on the grubs. So if I don't kill the grubs, you know, they just have a smorgasbord back there. So I've got to really attack that. And so I put out seeds, put out the grub killer, and I have some mold killer that I need to put out as well. Just wanted to make sure I get that started. And I'll put out some more seeds. I do have some more. So I'll put out more seeds, and especially in the back, I really need to seed the back. And because, you know, when the grubs eat up the roots, it just tears up the grass. So you won't grow grass in that spot. So the front is fine. It's just the back that really needs attention. So I'm going to have to pay more attention to that. So I am so glad also that I put out tarps. I laid out tarp and I wasn't going to do it. I'm saying, no, you better go get tarps for this. And I'm so glad I did. And I bought two, and I bought one so that they could put it down on the bottom so that the dirt just wouldn't be on the driveway, which you see it got on the driveway anyway, but not as much as a mess as it could have been had I not put that tarp down. And then I thought, let me get another tarp to cover it in case it rains so that it's not, doesn't turn to mud. And sure enough, like I said, it rained so much last night. It rained and it rained and it rained. And I was so glad I covered that dirt with those tarps. And some of it still got wet, like it was a little muddy, but it wasn't near as bad as it would have been had I not put that tarp over it. So that's what's left. I've got that little left, and then this wheelbarrow amount that's left. That's a whole wheelbarrow. So they probably put a little bit more in the back. I think I want them to really build up the back, especially on those two sides of the patio, because that's where the moles, this one side of the yard and that one side of the patio is where the moles are really taking over. So I really need to build that up and put that repellent and stuff out over there and some more seeds to get that to come back in. So yeah, that's what I'm doing this morning. Woke up. I woke up early this morning. I went back to sleep. Woke up again, and I thought, my plan was to go out there before they got here and get that stuff out, but they woke me up when they came and the cameras was picking them up. They woke me up. So I had to jump up really quick and, try to get myself together to go out there and, anyway, just to greet them and then get started. I call myself trying to help and do something. So guys, I look around in here. So the other thing, when I got back from my trip, I was busy washing all of my clothes out from the trip. I mean, that weekend, I was just washing everything. At the same time, I was starting to prep the patio. So I had to break down all of the cushions from the patio furniture. So that's what I broke down all the cushions, washed all of the cushions out for the cushion covers for all of the pillows and cushions for the furniture and whatnot. And so that's why you see all of these cushions sitting up here in the living room. And I'm thinking I'm just going to put the cushion covers on, but I may not get everything set up till next weekend, which is I think it's Memorial Day weekend, or maybe I have one more weekend. I don't know. So that weekend of Memorial Day is when I'm thinking about setting it up, because I'm going to barbecue and then I'll probably just hang out on the patio. But you can see this little white stuff. I was also trying to wait for this little white stuff to finish falling too. You see that little white stuff that's on, it's like some kind of cotton pollen. I don't know what it is, but I need to get my blower and blow all of that up. You can see they're spreading the dirt back here and it is looking really good. I am liking how that's looking. He's got my shovel back there. He needs to bring my shovel back in the garage. So yeah, guys, and you see my little balloon spray is still up. My balloon spray is still up. I wonder if I need to take more pictures. So anyway, guys, that's what I'm doing this morning, this Saturday morning. Once they're done, he quoted me a price to spread that dirt, but I'm like, oh my gosh, I was out there helping a little bit. And that was a lot of work. So I'm like, no, I have to go back to the bank and get them some more money, because that was a lot of work, especially if they clean off my driveway. If they want to take that dirt that's left, if they don't, then I'm sure one of my neighbors, they'll probably want it. If these guys don't want it, but they can't take my tarps though. Well, they can take one of them, and he needs to bring it back, because those tarps were $20 each. And, if I ever need one again. So anyway, guys, that's what I'm doing this morning. I think I'm going to try to fix some breakfast really quick. I have some avocado. I think I'll do avocado, and I have, what happened to my, oh, here they are. I have my English muffins. I'm trying these English muffins I bought from Costco, and I'm going to do bacon. I had some strawberries Now these are I bought these strawberries, but they're horrible, so they're going in the trash. And then I have these little cucumbers for my salad, and then these peppers. I love these peppers. And this brand, this one I like because it doesn't have any seeds in it. So, oh yeah, it says seedless. I didn't see that. I like those. So I like to chop those peppers up and the cucumbers and put that in my salad, because I do this salad from Costco, these ready-made salads. Now, most of the time I will do my own meat. So I have to admit, sometimes I throw that chicken away and I just use the lettuce. I have just that lettuce, my peppers and cucumbers, and this is the salad dressing that I love, this light balsamic vinaigrette, which I'm out of. I need to go to the grocery store and pick up some more. But yeah, so yesterday I did a crab boil for myself. I did a crab boil yesterday. And so I had that yesterday instead of a salad. So today I'll be back on my salad. But yeah, so and I don't think I'll do like I bought meat from the grocery store. Oh, y'all, here are my cookies. I made some more cookies this week. Those are my chocolate chip cookies. Yum, yum. Love my chocolate chip cookies. And so these are some crab cakes that I did before I made those myself. I had some Dungeness crab and I just broke it all down and split it up and made my own crab cake. So whenever I want one, I can have some. And I need to move this over here because I have my cake left from my birthday party. I had my cake left from my birthday party, and I hope that's going to close. And see, here's some peppers that I have that I froze. I didn't eat them all, and so I just froze them. And yeah, I had those crab cakes. This is some icing. This is icing that I had from a cake. It's like a cream cheese with pecans icing that I can use for a cake one time if I need. And so I just put that cake up. So yeah, I'm going to do some bacon. I'm going to do avocado toast with this English muffins. And I think I'm just going to do green tea. I've been trying to not do coffee every day. Maybe if I have a cup, I'll do it later. But for this morning, I'm just going to do my green tea this morning. And so, guys, that's what I'm getting ready to do. I want to try to get some breakfast done before they finish so that once they finish, I can go run up to the bank and get some more money from them. But I will come back later if I'm doing anything interesting. I'll come back later. You guys have a wonderful Saturday morning. Bye. Okay, guys, so it is Wednesday, y'all. And like I said, I know that I have been MIA. I had, like I said before, I'd gone to Japan, and I shared that earlier that I was going to be going to Japan, and I actually shared some of my video from Japan. And then after that, almost right after that, I went to Alaska on a cruise. Some of my family came up. We went to Alaska, my brother and his wife. They came up, stayed a couple of days. I took them around to Mount Rainier, and we just had a wonderful time. So I've just been busy. And then when I did make it back, I had a presentation at church to do that. Like, we got back that Friday. I had a presentation at church to do that Saturday. And before that, I had taken them to the airport early that morning. And after that, I really needed to, come in, do some cleaning and washing everything up and try to just get myself ready for the next week and get organized. So yeah, I've been gone for a minute. And yeah. So anyways, I just finished Bible study and I thought, okay, let me show you guys kind of what I've been doing lately, at least just around the house. So one of the things I purchased recently was this little acrylic phone stand because, I'm going to say I love organization. It's not a desire. It's a must for me to have my home organized for me because it gives me sanity. It creates a relaxing atmosphere for me when everything has a place and it's organized. It just helps my life not be chaotic. And especially when I'm also trying to find things too. If I have a place for something, then that just really helps me. So anyway, I bought this because typically I might just lay it on my desk, then it's taking up space on my desk. But I love the fact that I can sit this in this holder because I found recently that with my neck position, when you're sitting down at the desk all the time, then my neck starts to get, you know, it starts to hurt from being down. So I like the fact that I can kind of hold the phone up. It's in an up position now and not laying down on the desk. And so, yeah, I wanted to show you that. And then, y'all, like I said, organization. Let me show y'all this. Y'all, okay, let me tell you something. When you get older, you're going to, let me tell you, memory is going to be one of those things. I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to avoid it. It's just not going to be as sharp as it was when you were 10 and 15. It's a fact of life. It's just going to happen. Well, y'all know how we always have all these chargers around the house. Every little device we have, everything you buy has got some kind of little charger to it. And I'm telling you, I have like 100 chargers around the house, and I have no idea what those things go to. So I was watching a lady that I like to follow around about organization, and she was advertising this as far as her Amazon. She was doing the Amazon Live, and she was advertising or just kind of showing this little label maker, y'all. It's real inexpensive. Got it off of Amazon, and it works off of Bluetooth. And I just set it up on my tablet because my tablet is more portable, you know, than rather me dragging my laptop around the house. I can just take my tablet, and I downloaded the app to create labels, y'all, for all of those cords. So I sat up here the other day trying to think about everything that I had a label on that I needed to. This one's trying to come off. Maybe I didn't stick. I had my little greasy hands on it too much. Let me show y'all this. I have more upstairs because I put them in a box. I'll show y'all that in a minute. So this is what I was able to do. I came in here and I got the little label maker. Oh, let me show you this. So it has the little roll of labels in here. It's got the little roll of labels. So you just sit that off in there and just kind of position it where it can feed through the little feeder. And then this is a cutter, like you push that up and it will cut off the label. And that's the power button. So I came in, used my tablet and turned it on, hooked it up with this, connected to that, and created these labels. Like this is a label for lighters. I have those little, what would I call them? I don't know if I call it electric lighters. It's not that little big lighter with the flame. It's a little electric lighter that I can light my candles with or anything else. So I have these chargers that go to, because I have 3. I have one in the living room, one upstairs in the big family room, lounge area, and one in my bathroom. But I'm telling you, I have all these little chargers around and I have no idea what the stuff goes to. This is the charger for this. I was able to do this. This one is for the turbocharge. I have another turbocharge. So this is for the turbocharger that I have. And then this one is for digital wallet that I have. So, and which this needs to go be put up with the other thing. But so I put these, and I just kind of keep these in this drawer here with some other chargers. But y'all, I'm telling y'all, this thing, and I think it's Prime Week. So in this, I got just the basic white, and it's on for $17 something, and then they have different colors. But this thing, yes, that's a yes. I'm so glad that I have that. I found that charger to be able to do my labels, because it's so annoying. And then the other thing I bought from that same lady that I love her organization, she creates a series of home organization tools, and they're all called Beautifully Organized. And so she does like beautifully organized for the office, beautifully organized for your home. And then she has a little beautifully organized cleaning I don't know what you would call it, planner, but they're like a deck of cards, and it'll tell you, you pick a card and you focus on that thing that's on the card as far as cleaning or organizing it. But I don't do that because, I do my own. And all of my organization, I was doing that before I ran into her. But every now and then she does have a new idea for organization. And so I bought this. This is an estate planner, and I've been looking, thinking about I need to get everything in my life written down. So if anything happens to me, my family, mostly my son, would have all the information in one place. So I can't wait to crack this open and get started, documenting all of the things that he's going to need to, know for closing out my business. And then the other thing is my chair. I did buy a new chair for the office. I got the white one because, child, that black one I had, that thing was cracked all up and I was ripping my clothes and tearing up everything. So what I'm going to do, let's go upstairs. Okay, and so guys, I also wanted to show y'all, this is what I'm talking about as far as the organization for the linen closet. Now, these are my sheets, and I used to keep my sheets in those plastic bags that the sheets come in. Well, the lady that I was telling you about, when she was doing her Amazon live show, she was showing these linen boxes. And I imagine you can put anything in there, but she mentioned about using them for sheets. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I need to help my linen closet stay a little neater, because this is the way it usually is. But I just had those, plastic bags up there and not quite uniformed. So I had all the sheets, folded them up, refolded them, and just put them in each one of these. And what they do is, I can show you this, it zips. The side flaps will zip, and then the top and bottom flaps will just Velcro over. And then you have a little slide in here where you can label if it's something else. But I like the fact that it has these windows on it, so you can actually see what color the sheet sets are. So yeah, I just absolutely love that for my linen closet now in here. So I did that. And then let's see, I don't think I have anything. No, I don't have anything new in here. I just came in here and just reorganized how I had things in there. And then the only other thing I did was I had this Lazy Susan downstairs, and I had my this little acrylic box that I like. I have my dryer sheets in that, and then my little washing machine beads. That's for scents. And then this is what I put my laundry pods in. And then I actually put my bleach in there. But I liked having this, bringing this Lazy Susan up, because it was downstairs. I wasn't used. I was like, you know what? That's what I need in here, because now I can put everything up on the tray and not have things sitting around loose, since, it was taking up the space anyway. But, yeah, that's what I put up here. And so I like that. Now, one of the other things, I have this like for laundry. I don't really use this. It's really just decor. But with my Cricut, I am going to make myself a chart kind of like this for cleaning. So when I do different things around the house, like when's the last time I changed the air filters, when's the last time you dusted? Because I don't dust every day. I probably don't, and I don't dust every week, but having something up like that will remind me, when was the last time I did it? When's the last time you shampooed the carpet? Kind of a thing. So, and any other type of maintenance things that I need to put on there, like servicing the air conditioning unit or, just anything like that. So I'm going to make that with my, Cricut. And then, let's see, I don't know if I showed you this, but I think I did. I think I showed you the blue boxes that I put in my closet. I think I showed you those. And so these used to be in my closet, but I brought those here and put I can actually scoot this over because I just changed my bed linen. because I had this set on the bed and I just changed that. But I was able to put my linens and things in there, and then all in here, this is my travel stuff. This is travel, and then you see my luggage, because that just helps me organize that stuff or put it so I know where it is, and that I'm not trying to dig in a box to find it. It's all right there where I can see it. And then let me show you this last thing. Okay, guys, and then the last thing I want to show y'all is this split end trimmer. Let's see. And what I feel is it feels softer. It feels softer. I'll say that. Okay. Whew. Y'all, I don't know what I did, but I don't know if something bit me or if it was from, oh yeah. Now I'm going to tell you how I know I did get some ends, because my hair was all one way. Now brushing it over the other way, it's not getting caught on the end. That's how I know I did get some ends, some split ends off of there. So that's good. Yeah, see how it's going through now. Usually when I do that, it would get snagged. If I had ends on it, it would be snagged on the end, but okay, let's see. Yep. Oh yeah, see, now I can see. When I get ready to cut, now see I can do that, and I'm just gonna cut it. I need to cut at least, I can cut a good inch. Cut a good inch off. Yeah. I can cut a good inch off. All right, y'all. That's all I wanted to show y'all for my... Oh, I know the other thing I can show y'all I had to do. So I don't know if I said, like, I am over the Christian education ministry now at church. And so I've been doing a lot. That's one reason I've been off as well, because, that's one reason I haven't been, vlogging or anything as much too, because I've been busy organizing and trying to get that together as well. So, I did a presentation with them on the importance of why Christian education is important, meaning Christian education in a level of teaching and learning and using evidence-based practices and strategies in the way we do instruction. Because most of the time what you get when you're in church is like a sit and get, and they're not using strategies that really help the learners learn the information, or it's not presented in a way that will help folks understand and retain the information. Because what they were doing in the past is you would go to Bible study and the teacher would present their lesson, but they would come there that night of Bible study with like 1,000 scriptures that you had no knowledge of beforehand, and they would just throw a lot of scriptures at you. And you're talking about people who may not even have picked up a Bible in their whole life, and you're asking them to follow you as you teach while you're thumbing through scriptures and flying through scriptures, and then you start to talk about the scripture or explain. Meanwhile, they're still thumbing through their Bible trying to find the scripture. Not to mention just the sit and get. So my whole presentation was about the fact that we have people in the church with different learning needs. And so we need to consider not just the preferences of how people learn, but we need to consider the fact that people have learning challenges, learning differences, disabilities, and the way they present information is not helping them to learn. And I took them through a walk of scriptures looking at the biblical principles and how the biblical view or perspective of teaching and learning, and how the Bible views learners are to learn, teachers are to teach, those that are called to teach, the fact that teachers will be held to a greater accountability. And so we came up with, one of the activities came up with this statement, this slogan that will be a part of the Christian education ministry, which is to say that as a teacher, I am accountable to God, and I have a duty and a responsibility to ensure that my that my students learn and grow. So I'm accountable to God, and I have a duty and a responsibility to ensure that my students learn and grow. And so that summation came out of the scriptures that we were reviewed about the biblical perspective of teaching and learning. And so I will be doing classes and teaching them kind of like a trainer. Since my background is education, I will be doing lessons to teach them strategies that help people learn so that they're not just doing a sit and get. I have started to require that they submit a lesson outline every week. So if it's a series, I'm saying it will be done 4 to 6 weeks in advance. If it's a single lesson, it should be done 2 to 3 weeks in advance, and then it's posted on our church's website so that the members can download, and then they have an outline to follow the teacher. And so they're not just sitting there listening to someone talk in a class. They have something that they can actually keep in a notebook and follow along with the teaching and what's going on, and something that they can refer back to. So I'm excited about, how we're doing that. And so I will also be building training classes as well. Like, when they start doing women's classes, whatever the trainings are, marriage classes, whatever it is. But, the expectation is that if you're a teacher, your teaching it has to raise up a level. It can't just be you get up there and talk and that's it, and people just have to sit in the class and listen to you. So I want to have them incorporate technology, mini quizzes, whether it's through Zoom or in live where we use like Mentimeter or something like that, where they can kind of probe and get engagement. Make sure that the students are engaged in the learning. I want them to incorporate more history when they're setting up the background so that, we're talking about building prior knowledge. But yeah, and having learning goals. So yeah, that's what we're moving to, and that's what I've been working on a lot. In the meantime, y'all know I was working on a book, and I just started yesterday, because it was Tuesday, picking up that again and starting on chapter 5. So I started writing out chapter 5 yesterday, and then tonight was Bible study, so I didn't do anything tonight. But I will, if the Lord says the same Thursday, I'll start back doing something. But I'll write something else. So anyways, yeah, guys, so that's what I have been doing. This little lady has been busy. Busy. I've been a busy bee. Just, getting a lot of things done with church. And then I'm also, our pastor wants me to be in charge of the rooms, all of the different rooms at the church. Like, there's some of them need to be cleaned out really well. And so I have to get folks who are in charge of those areas, go in with them and say, okay, we need to clean these rooms out because I need to get like set up in these rooms and plan out how the rooms are going to be set up. I need to know how many each room can hold. And then I'll start to outfit each room with, as a learning environment or a classroom environment. So yeah, I'm excited about that. It's what I talk about. Purpose and serving in your purpose and areas that God has gifted you. Okay, that's what I'm doing, y'all. Now I gotta find some place to put this. At least it's labeled now. All right, guys, I'm getting out of here because y'all know what I do. I'm rambling. So I'm gonna go. And I just wanted to check in because I haven't come on in a minute. So there's that. Hi guys, what's up? Well, I know it's been a while since I vlogged. Yeah, I've been, as I stated earlier, been doing a whole lot, but I wanted to show you guys a few things that I've been working on around the house. And so one of the things, I'm trying to do a little bit more decor. I've just gotten to a certain point where I wasn't doing any more decor. And I decided that I do want some nice pictures in these two additional kind of like picture boxes or frames out in the wall. I have the flower in the center, but I just couldn't decide what I wanted in the space on either side. I really felt like it needed something. And what I'm trying to lend to is the chinoiserie design style. I really love that style. So I think I'm going to take my office in that direction. I only need a few pieces. I mean, like the rug that I have here already kind of lends itself to the chinoiserie kind of design. So I want to get 2 pieces of artwork for either side of this flower. And I'm wanting them to be a little bit more rectangular. So they'll be longer than the flower, but not necessarily wider than the flower. I really don't want it wider than the flower, but I'll see how it goes. And I've actually ordered something, and I'll show you that in just a minute. But of course, it's going to kind of have to go with blue. And I think I'm going to change out this chair, or I may find I'll find a nice pillow to kind of bring this in. I think that's what I'll do, is just find a nice pillow to bring it in. I'll keep the gray chair because I love my little white lamp shade. That's so cute. And so, yeah, that's what I've been kind of doing today. It's been a busy day. I took off today, and I had to do some yard work, y'all. I had to do some yard work, and I got up I actually woke up like at 3 something, and I just stayed up, but I got out of the bed like at 5. I got outside about 5:30 this morning and was out here pruning like my rose bush. I wasn't really sure how to do that, so I had to look up online, how do you prune a rose bush? Because the thing was laying all down on the ground, and it just seemed to be so heavy. So I read a little bit how to prune a rose bush. You can see it's having a lot of buds coming up on it, and that's really nice. But I have this one over here on this side, and it only had like 2 buds, or just maybe 3 buds. And of course I deadheaded all of them today, and then I trimmed that back. So hopefully more buds will come up on this one. This rose bush is quite a bit taller, but what I'm going to do next year, when the fall comes and, it's wintertime, I'm going to chop that one down to the size that one is. And, before spring comes, trim it up so that they're both the same height. And then all of the other plants out there, I needed to deadhead some of the stems on my hostas, and this other flower, I can't remember what the name of that flower is, but it blooms like white flowers, and they all went off at the same time. And I had to clean out the flower bed out there. Some grass had started to grow in. I was pruning all of those as well. The lawn guy will come Monday because I've been working in the yard. I put dirt out, seeds out, trying to get the grass, and now I'm seeing the grass really starting to take off, which is great. And so thankfully he will be here Monday. I turned the sprinkler systems off because I was like, I need to give it a break. And then my brother was telling me too, to give it a break from all of that water. Yeah, I was watering it to, get the seeds going. But, if you leave it going too long, it seems like he was right that it will drown. And when I turned the water off, the grass just went crazy. So I have it off today. Plus, I think they have some kind of watering thing where they want us not to water on Friday. And I need to go clean off my chairs so I can sit out there. But anyway, guys, yeah, I was out there pruning. Now, what is that over there on that tree? I pruned that. I don't know what that is over there. Something flew over there. Something I picked up, and I need to go pull that off. But anyways, so yeah, I was out there pruning, pruning everything, trying to make the flower bed look decent again. It does look nicer. And my poor plant, I don't know what's happened to it. I think I've been spraying stuff on it. I don't think it likes it. So, I don't know what to do about that plant. It was flourishing, doing really well. But I think this stuff I have for bugs, it's not supposed to be harmful, but it doesn't like it. This one is okay. I spray it on this one. That one seems to do fine, but that one, I don't know. I'll find another kind of plant to replace that with, because that's not doing well. So anywho, and I need to repaint my, cabinet, y'all. And then I want to put something. I had this wax when I used like a matte paint before. I had like this wax that you put down over it, and I really like that. So I need to repaint that and touch that up. Let me go and show you this, what I've been trying to think about getting. Okay, guys, so this is the wall art that I have decided to go with for my office. Yes, bringing in the blue, and this is actually a canvas print, and it was on sale for, wait a minute, what happened? Oh, the size. Okay, so this is not the size that I bought. So this is like a 17 by 24, but this is not the size I bought. I actually bought the 26 by 36 to go in that box. 26 is great, but the 36, I don't know if I can cut some off at the bottom and some off at the top. That'll be fine, because I am going to frame this, because it'll just come in the canvas, but I'm going to frame this, but I will do either some white matte around this or black. I'm going to play with it. Maybe white. I don't know. And then, because the frame that I want to use is like the gold or bronze color to match the trim on that flower. That flower that's already there has like a gold trimming around it, gold bronzy trimming. So I do want to get a frame, something that has like the gold trim around it. And so 26 by 36. I'll just do my own frame. They do frame, but I didn't want them to frame it. I said, let me just do it so I can choose a frame that I want or like. And so this is what will go up in my office. And I actually bought two. And this one is the blue and white porcelain vase 1. So they have two of them. They have porcelain vase 1 and porcelain vase 2. They basically look the same. There's just a little bit of difference, and you know, the mirror design, but there's just a slight difference in the two, and you have to look to tell. I know what the difference is, but you might not be able to tell so quickly. But I really love these, and this is what's going to go on the wall in my office, and I'm so excited to get that. And for me, that will complete my office. And the only other thing I'm going to do, I'm looking for a nice white tray to put on my desk. I want like an acrylic laptop stand. I saw a really nice leather-like stand at Home Goods today, but it wasn't the color that I need. I either want white or maybe an acrylic. And so I have a black one there that I'm using now, and I think I want to find me an acrylic laptop stand to put my laptop on, and underneath I have that space, but I'm looking for like a white box or tray to put my planner in and my little notebook. I keep a little notebook on my desk that when I make phone calls, I use that to note, what the customer service person or whoever I'm talking to. So that I have a note. But this is what I'm ordering for the office. This is what's going to go on my wall. I really like that. It's got the blue in it. It's got some white. It has this kind of earth tone color, which is great. That's what I want. So that's pretty. and that will complete my office. I will be done with my office. Now, where I am sitting in the family room right now, and this big wall in this family room, this has been blank, and I have just been thinking about what in the world can I do with this big wall. And I have some beautiful photos that I've taken up around the mountain, and I had one idea of taking my photos and having them blown up on muslin as well and framing them, and then doing this other little artistic design on them to kind of bring it to life with some tactile. You just add like some tactile to like bring it to life. So I thought about using one of my photos, and I was like, well, I'm going for that chinoiserie style in here as well. And you can see like over the dining room where I hung my pictures, those are like cherry blossoms. So in here, I was trying to think, I kept trying to think of what I could put on this wall, but this wall is so huge. So I decided that for this wall, I was going to put up like one of those screens in the chinoiserie style. And I've looked at a lot of them. I've gone through and I liked, just get some inspiration for ones that I liked. And I thought about colors, thinking about the colors. And I really wanted to somehow bring blue in, but I've just not been able to find a screen that doesn't overpower with the blue, but, subtle, so that I can bring in blue in other ways, but also allow me flexibility to change out my colors. So I went on finally looking at Wayfair, and I found this screen that I think I'm going to go with. And I looked at it the other day, and it does kind of seem like it has some red in it. I'm hoping it's more of rust, maybe neutralish, brownish kind of color. I'm hoping it's not like red, but this gray, I love these shades of gray. I love, and then it's got the yellow, which will bring that in, but this will allow me to go with basically any color I want. I mean, even the pillows that I have right here, this will still match. And that's not necessarily the chinoiserie design, but I can turn it around to the solid color, which will be beautiful, and then bring in pillows with the chinoiserie style as accent pillows, and that would work. So I could turn that around to the solid side. Or, the color here in this screen still matches the colors in those pillows, so I could do that. Either way, I could turn it either way. But I think this is the style that I'm going to settle on, and you see it sits on the floor, but I'm going to hang it on the wall. So I'm not going to leave it on the floor. My plan is to put it up on the wall, and you can get different sizes, and then measuring top to bottom, and then the width. Since this wall is so long, I'm going to go ahead and get the longer one, and to take up most of that wall. And then the last thing I want is like a nice plant with a big vase over here, planter, and a big planter with a plant. I'm not sure if I'll do faux or real, but like what do you call it? Not a real like cherry blossom, but something Asian inspired. Like you can see my little fake Aurelia. That's giving me like I could move that over in the corner, but that's giving me like Asian inspired chinoiserie style. That's kind of the style that I'm planning to go with in here. And you can see I have my bonsai over there, and then my other little lot. Well, it's not live, but the greenery over there in the little on the table. So that's kind of the style that's what I want to go with in here, more of a chinoiserie style. I can get this in 94, which is the one I think I'm going to do, the 74 8-inch high. So the height is the same. Well, the second one, but the width is longer. So that's the one I need. I need it to be at least 94. So this is the one I'm going to go with. I think that's going to just really make this look nice. It's going to be a huge statement over here on this wall. And then I'm just, like I said, I'm going to hang this up, and I don't have to change. You can see the trim on the bottom of here. This is going to match the mantle, the legs on the chair, the furniture, this still matches. So I won't have to do anything with that. And once it's all together, it will just look seamless. So you won't have a divider in there. It will just look seamless. So I said, that's the one I need to. Good morning, y'all. Good morning, y'all. It is Saturday morning and I'm about to get my day started. I've already gone outside to put out some more mold killer. If y'all remember me telling y'all, I am fighting with a mole in my backyard. So I love the nature behind me, but it comes with, its cons. And one is I have to deal with a mole that wants to eat up my yard. So I put out some mold killer for that, and I turned the sprinkler system back on so it can wet that, get in. You're supposed to do this in like 3 phases, so I'm on phase 2. So this morning I am getting ready to have my breakfast. I have some eggs. I mostly do egg whites, so I'll do maybe if I do 2 or 3 eggs, I'll do 1 yolk and then just all the rest egg whites. But I love to put these peppers in my eggs. I put them in my salad too. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So I buy these, I had some strawberries, so I have strawberries, but I buy these peppers from Costco and I like these. They're the seedless kind. So it's that bag of peppers and it's supposed to be mixed like red, yellow, orange. And then I have my cucumbers that I like to put in the salads that I buy from Costco. But that's what I'm having for breakfast this morning. I have some, I guess you can call it scrambled eggs, kind of over hard. Bacon, some strawberries, and some watermelon. And of course my coffee in my next mug. And you guys remember I had the smaller one of these. It was like 14 ounces. But I usually have to pour out coffee, and I couldn't actually put the coffee in here because I was brewing 14 ounces and it would just run over. So I had to brew the coffee in another cup and then pour it in here. But this cup is actually 18 ounces. So I'm glad I purchased this during Prime Week and got the larger size. So now I can just brew my coffee straight in this cup, and I can turn, of course, my settings to where I like it. And I usually keep mine on the hot setting. I don't know if you can see that, but I usually keep mine on the hot setting. So it has a piping, hot, and then mild. But I like to keep it at least on the hot setting. Tea, I can keep on the mild setting. But anyway, guys, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm getting ready to eat breakfast, and then I've got a ton of work to do. Writing. I've got my own writing. I've got a lot of church stuff to do, in preparation for the Christian education ministry kickoff. And I was explaining more about that at the front of the video, but that's what I really need to work on today to get done. And then I have to do some more yard work this afternoon. So anyway, guys, I'm going to eat my breakfast and get my day started. Y'all have a wonderful Saturday. Bye.